Warning, this is not a rant. It's a sports review with feelings. No athletes' egos were harmed, only reputations. Rugby League State of Origin eligibility has been updated, which is a polite way of saying the game has looked at its own reflection, shrugged, and served it back to us labelled modernisation. And for once, it actually makes the rules simpler instead of sending us to Google mid-argument. The new rule? If you qualify for Origin under the traditional criteria, birthplace, residency before 13, or dad played, you can now play regardless of which country you represent internationally. Australia, New Zealand, England. Doesn't matter anymore. If you're eligible, you're in. Which sounds simple, and also sounds like something we'll all argue about for the next 20 years. Because Origin has always sold itself as the purest concept in sport. Where you're from, not who you play for. A tribal badge. A postcode war. A 3-game therapy session for 2 states that politely tolerate each other 11 months of the year. For years we've had this weird loophole where a bloke could grow up in Queensland, play junior footy there, live and breathe maroon, then pull on a Kiwi jersey at test level and suddenly get treated like he'd applied for a visa to his own childhood. The updated rule basically says, calm down. Origin is about your state, not your passport. If you were shaped in New South Wales or Queensland, you're still one of ours, even if your international anthem is a different one. The ARLC is selling it as reflecting the global game, especially the Pacific boom. And fair enough. Players have layered identities now, heritage, pride, and the state they grew up dreaming about on a cold Wednesday night in June. Now, Talkback Radio will call this growing the game, and 5 minutes later call it watering down Origin. Both opinions will be delivered with the same volume and zero evidence. But here's the truth. It probably strengthens both. The international game keeps its stars and Origin keeps its point. You play for the state that raised you, not the nation that selected you later. Needless to say, the first time someone lines up for New Zealand in a test and Queensland in Origin, social media will combust like a ref's whistle in a packed Suncorp. And that's the punchline, isn't it? The rule changes, the jersey changes, but the outrage stays consistent because Origin was never really about paperwork. It's about identity, loyalty, and the belief that where you grew up matters more than what you wore later. So yes, 3 criteria, 1 new twist, and 1 clear message. The game's gone global, but the rivalry is still deliciously local, which is great, because now we can get back to the traditional Origin tradition, arguing about the ref, not the forms. I'm the Sportzologist. This has been your weekly emotional audit of sport. I'll leave you with that thought.